Hello, everybody. I'm David at Chatmosa, head of product at Chatmosa, and welcome to another episode of Chatmosa Growth, where we're building Chatmosa in public, and otherwise we call it BIP, Building in Public. It's called BIP. Did everybody know about that? Everybody's like,
We
no.
do indeed, thanks to you.
We're bipping it. And so I've got the dream team from Chatmosa on. We're gonna go through. Sandra, you're gonna go second, but you had a homework assignment from our last week as far as our shout outs. But let me start with CEO Camille for the shout out.
Oh, I already forgot what my opening line is,
Oh,
but
now you have your homework because you did it. You were on target last week.
I know. Hi. This is Camille, the CEO of Chatmosa. Yeah.
Okay, we're Auntie Derek. We're gonna work on that. Okay, Sandra, here you go. Homework assignment from last week. Shout out, CTO Sandra.
Hello. Sandra here. I don't know what my Housewives tagline is, but I'm sure I'll think of something.
Oh, we have to have a
Oh,
tagline. Okay.
I like it. Okay, good job, Sandra. You passed that with flying colors, Sandra. That's awesome, Camille. I would say maybe a B minus. Yeah, we'll work on that. Auntie Derek, head of product here. Excuse me, head of
I
head of growth.
You're head of product. I don't want your job.
You're not taking my job, Auntie Derek from Auntie Derek's Daytime Tea here on Chatmosa. Yes, exactly. Head of growth here at Chatmosa. Shout out.
Head of growth indeed. Hello, everybody. I'm so excited to be here.
Oh man, Auntie Derek. Every week. That's an A, right? On the shout outs, Camille, Sandra.
Yeah. Always an A. So
Uh,
sharp, so smooth.
so good. I failed profusely, but yeah. So let's jump right into talking about Chatmosa and growth because we do have a lot of topics we wanted to kind of cover with everybody here. Camille and I were on a call the other day, a demo. By the way, you can go to chatmosa.com and then click on the top left nav and schedule a demo with us if you want to see kind of kind of see the features and so on at Chatmosa. But one of the key things they were asking us was, you guys show me a lot of features, the clipper, the editor, the live kind of functionality, but what are you guys? And we thought it was a really good question, didn't we, Camille? What is Chatmosa, right? Other than the features.
Yeah, I mean, Chatmosa, we just want you to be able to jump straight into the things that you do best, as a podcaster. We really focus on podcasters. For creators who want to become podcasters and non-creators who want to be podcasters. So this is Chatmosa is where you could go live with your community if you already have a community. It's where you record, host, and distribute podcast sessions with friends and collaborators. Meaning, sometimes you don't want to do it alone. And it's where you could edit and produce short clips to promote your podcast. The promotion piece is really key in podcasting. There's, one thing about creating content and how do you promote that content? So we provide tools to help you do that easily. And you could send updates through our mailing list tools because we know that many podcasters, many creators out there are using so many different tools. I mean, people don't realize that it's actually a problem. That your monthly bill is actually pretty high. Most people are probably going like $150, $300 at least minimum because you're subscribing to so many tools. And you know, lastly, it's to improve the way you could monetize what you're doing as a podcaster, ways to make money, earn money, and grow. So you're growing your presence, you're growing your brand, and we'd like to help you grow your your wallet. And so that's again as a podcaster, and that's all in one place.
But also, Camille, we're also kind of, who you are, right? So not all of us have voices. And I think as a vision, you kind of set the tone that Chatmosa, it's really important for us to empower, the voiceless and so on. Can you expand on that concept and you, Auntie, also?
Yeah, it's when we built this, I think, for us who've been working, we work in media, you know, mainstream media with the studios. We know what it takes to get people, when they go on camera, and then, there's something different about media. When you say, visit this website, they will get thousands, millions of traffic right away, versus an online creator that's just like, oh, hey, I'm here. I've got my blah, blah, blah. That kind of comes in trickle effect. And we wanted to build Chatmosa and allow people, that don't typically have the platform to get their voices heard, to tell their stories. And I mean, Auntie is one of, my favorite, uh, the voices that he tells, and Auntie's daytime tea and his friends, the commentary. These are typically that, probably broadcast media, the big media companies, you know, kind of like overlook. And we wanted to build Chatmosa to focus, to give that platform for the underrepresented community. What do you think, Auntie?
I think you're absolutely right. And speaking from experience, I can actually talk firsthand. I am considered someone who is voiceless. I'm openly gay, black, and well, for the most part, most people aren't interested in what I have to say. However, this platform has actually given me tools to actually essentially have my own show that self-produced, distributed, and when I talk to people about my show, they're really impressed that I do a daily show. Like I release new episodes every weekday, and they're like, "Well, how do you do that?" And I'm like, "Well, I have the platform that helps me do so. It makes it really easy for me." So, yeah.
Yeah, I've been talking to a lot of, some people in the creator space, and there really is, in the creator space, in the digital media, you don't have to be so pro and, produce videos that are just such high quality motion picture level. I think where we're going towards, especially with AI, will be a want and a hunger for authentic voices, real people's story, real people's reaction and commentary. And it's really what I love about, the shows that are happening on Chatmosa. Of course, these are shows that are happening in many podcast platforms, but with Chatmosa, we just make it easy for you to, get that started, get going, be able to do this.
And just kind of to piggyback off of what you were saying earlier, it's like a lot of content creators have issues that we don't even realize that it's an issue. For me, for example, before we released the media clipper on Chatmosa, I was clipping the shows myself, and it took some time, and I was actually getting burnt out. So if you notice, like there's actually a month between clips from the end of last year to recently. And the reason for that is just I was just burnt out. I just didn't feel like doing the recording, then having to do the cutting, the clipping, the editing, then adding the captions. But now, since the clipping feature, I do at least a minimum of 3 clips per day every time I release the show because it's just so easy for me to do. So again, I didn't realize how much of a problem it was until I actually was able to use something that helped me a lot. So yeah,
Wow, you're doing 3 a day? That's pretty
I
impressive.
I'm having so much fun with this clipper, like more fun than should be allowed. But hey,
But your shows, though, there's, like, a lot of good clips.
yes.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
that's amazing.
Auntie Derek, I think you have a demo of some of your social media pages resulting from the clipper that, well, I'll have you go through in a second here. But in the chat, I did put in a link to our facts, Camille, which I think are really kind of important. The kind of at the bottom of our homepage, we have the facts. We're FAQs, by the way, not FA,
Yeah.
yeah, CT. But you talk about all the different tools, right, and how we're trying to simplify.
Yeah, I mean, I think Auntie, what you just brought up, that you didn't realize that it was a problem. And, observing a lot of podcasters out there, they don't realize, and maybe they do, and that's why they burn out, that they're actually taking, so much time just maybe even producing the show, and then the post, editing the show, publishing it, and then promoting it. And I'd like to think of Chatmosa as the Canva for podcasting. You know, um, our background, especially myself, one of the things I always turn on when I get on my computer is, Adobe Photoshop. It's kind of like part of my job, and like Adobe Illustrator. People didn't realize that it's a problem, but you know, I know for a fact that the big studios out there, big marketing departments and agencies, um, you started using Canva, even in the beginning, because they just needed to create this graphic. They just needed to create this little thing without having to, go to their graphic department or outsourcing it. And I think, chat mostly that's what we're doing. We want to simplify how you do things. And I think on the video right now, you're seeing our Clipper tool, and we use it ourselves. I'm a podcaster myself, and I talk to the podcasters on Chatmosa like Auntie and the others. Um, Looking at it, I'm just like, you know what? We're gonna redo this. We're just gonna have the video and the transcription as one Clipper. And if you want to go a little bit, kind of geekier, and you want to use the track, we'll launch a different page for you for that. Because when I'm clipping, like, I don't even care about the track. I just want the transcription. And I love the fact, and I have to command Sandra, I love the fact that you can just double click on a word and clean it up, retype it so that the caption shows up. And, I think we just need to improve on, we're now in that stage where we're going to improve on our messaging, that when you come here, this is what you do. The first thing for me, Auntie, what do you do? How do you clip?
Well, I look to see, like, what was the most popular celebrity that I talked about that day, and
Uh-huh.
then what I'll do is maybe type their names or type maybe something like, for example, for today, Cardi B or Stefan have reportedly broken up, allegedly. So I will maybe type in Cardi or broken up or something that will get me directly to the place where I talked about it, and just like look at, and that the editing feature is very important because for someone with a very heavy North Carolina accent such as myself, sometimes the transcript doesn't get the word that I said. So it's really helpful to change that to the correct word.
Well, you know what? And I've got like an accent myself. So we both can
Everybody
relate.
has an accent
Yeah,
there, Camille.
yeah, what I do is, when I'm podcasting, I will write down certain words that was spoken, so that in my head, I'm gonna jump straight to it, and I just select the sentence or 2 or 3. And you know what we don't communicate here, which we'll do better, is it actually creates this portrait size video with a caption of the words that you selected. It auto captions it.
Yeah, so the great thing about Chatmosa, Camille, is you're talking about this. Auntie, are you able to share your screen and show us a clip? And then it'd be great if you can just show us some of your social media pages as, showing the result.
Absolutely, I'll be happy to. So what I'm gonna do is actually share my TikTok page. So give me 1 second.
And as he's
Perfect.
putting it together, Auntie just joined TikTok.
J- Just join, and you can tell with the number of followers that I have, especially compared to my Twitter, and you can just kind of see that the likes are going up. And I just kind of filtered it to my most popular videos, and what you can kind of even see the difference. So here are like the top three, and you can kind of notice there are 28,000 views or over. This is before Chatmosa's clipping feature, where I had to actually clip it myself. But now the difference is where you can see here is that not only does it have almost 31,000 views, it has the captions plus a photo of my podcast. And let me just go to this page here. I'm actually going to go to where it says view analytics from this clip here. So again, it's been viewed almost 31,000 times. Here's the total play time and total watch time. I have followers from it, new followers, and the number of likes and shares and those who have bookmarked it. But this is actually very important. These are important analytics for someone who is doing social media influencing. These are the analytics that, maybe someone who's reaching out to you would like to use your influence for other things. They're going to want to see things like this, and you can easily show them. So I just really
Yeah.
find, like I said, I'm having a lot of fun with the clipping feature, maybe too much fun than should be allowed.
Yeah, and it's people who go, well, there's a lot of clippers out there. There's a lot of clipping tools, and yes, there are. Um, but then you don't have to like subscribe to them or go to move your video to their platform. And again, it's like just simplifying things. Podcast, record your show, and then clip it right on the spot, and then publish it, and share it.
Right from
Um,
the browser, no new apps or no special apps, no secondary apps that you need to download. Everything that I do is right from my browser.
yeah, yeah, that's great, Auntie. I mean, I actually really have fun with the clips as well. I have my doctor podcast. Can be a little dry because it's healthcare and but the clips make it quite fun. So
Yeah, here I have I actually have last week's Chatmosa Growth show up, right? So on the Clipper page for that session that we had for it, and you can see I've done like 3 clips. And as Camille and Auntie Derek, you said, right, when you do clip, and I'll go into the Clipper in a sec, but you see it does show. So here it shows, you've got our podcast logo at the top here for the podcast. Here's what was on the Jumbotron, and here's the actual text. So that's the beauty of, kind of the Clipper, is it creates this kind of vertical format for IG, TikTok, and YouTube Shorts. And it works out really well.
yeah, we have a new creator in Chatmosa, or I could call them podcaster. And she kind of I'm just testing out my first episode, and she created she shared a clip, and I looked at it and I'm like, that's not our clipper because it's missing her logo.
Mm,
And then so I asked, I said, how long did it take you to oh, did you do this yourself? He goes, yeah, it took me, like about an hour and a half to do it. I said, we have a clipper, right? And you just do the. And when she did that, she was like, "That's it." It's like she
yeah,
did her clip in like 20 seconds, basically. So
it's
that was kind of
amazing.
cool. Kind of cool.
Yeah, so you just highlight the clip that you want, right? Say okay, and then you just create clip. It's
Yeah.
amazing. And
Yeah.
then it's being generated here on our what we call our Power Tools page. So I
And what
just
used
wanted
to
to do a
take
show
the
on that.
content creators hours, like
Mm,
creating a clip that would take us hour, 1 hour, an hour and a half, maybe even 2 hours sometimes, now takes only minutes. Like this is amazing.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's really great.
Yeah. And I think, we're not for everyone. There are people that goes, like I use this other software, and they do all, they're good at this and this and that. Just like I'd say I still use Adobe. I don't use Canva,
Oh wow.
because it's what I'm used to. Um, it's just because it's what I'm used to. But I
Yeah.
would love to cut my annual bill from Adobe and go somewhere else. But again, Chatmos is not for everyone, but we are for the podcaster that wants to be more focused on creating their content and podcasting to promote their podcast and to build a community, meaning, you have your audience that subscribe to you. You have their emails that no matter what platform they go to or leave, that you're still able to communicate with them.
And the people you talk to, everybody, Auntie Derek and Camille, that you talked to and did demos, was there any questions you thought were good? And also, what kind of content are people going to be using other than Auntie Derek, your daytime tea? What type of content would work here on Chatmosa that's kind of forward thinking?
I would say all kinds of content, like whether you are a sports fanatic, whether you collect baseball cards, this is kind of like there's something out there, like someone out there will find your content interesting. So it's just that a good idea to cut, like, because the thing is, a lot of people have, I think it's been proven that most of us have a really short attention span. So as we can have the best podcast that's almost 2 hours long, but not many people will listen to it. But you do have to clip that and just to get their attention. So
Yeah.
clipping is really important.
Yeah. And I love Auntie's daily emails.
Yeah.
Auntie as a podcaster on Chatmosa he's able to email his, supporters, his audience, his followers. And he's my messy bestie.
That's right.
Yeah, you really nurture your community, Auntie, because every day, whatever the theme is, maybe it's some special day, you send down a daily email and saying, and at the end, right, you say to tune in to today's, session episode. But that's a really great, interesting thing is nurturing your community.
Yeah, I mean, if you love shopping, you know, have a podcast on the products that you want to talk about and why. And on
Mhm.
Chatmosa, here's the beautiful thing is you could share literally that shopping page of that product and your audience can just click on it and buy it like right there and then. If you love cars or scooters, whatever it is, makeup, you could, do a weekly podcast on those products. Why? What do you like about, whatever. But promote those products. And if you are, you have an affiliate subscription, make money out of people, your audience shopping. But that's really great content. And in fact, even on YouTube, gosh, all those um, makeup channels. I mean, I think every channel on YouTube can turn into, and that's why YouTube is getting into or got into podcasts. Um, Definitely get your stuff on YouTube. And the difference is what you're showing would be clickable. That if you want to, talk about, so I'm in tech, so I could tell you about my mouse and my keyboard and my microphone, and here, go buy it. My
All right, Camille, I'm going to put you on the spot. This is a live podcast, Camille. And
all
you
right.
are, let's say, for just kind of hypothetical, kind of going through here, that you're into shoes, tennis shoes, sneakers. What would be your
Okay.
sneaker of choice? And let's do a
Oh
show.
no! Don't embarrass me because I'm not really one.
Well, you can be a
Auntie,
putting her on the
you
spot,
know.
everybody.
I mean,
There we go.
I've learned, but I buy a lot. My preferred brand would be New Balance, right?
Okay. All right.
And so I would be sharing, and my new, I, you are putting me on the spot, but I
I'm
know
putting
there's
you
someone
on.
here who has a rack of
Uh,
shoes. It's like
all right.
wall to wall shoes. It's like all over, and that is Sandra. Um,
Oh,
I think she purchases
I
one that.
refuse to be called out during this segment, so I'll be
yeah.
quiet now.
because
Oh,
she
man.
has specific needs, you know, like, I'm a CEO of a company, so I don't really, like, move
Oh,
around.
wow.
You
All
know, I
I'm
don't really
trying to
dance,
do
you know?
come on,
Um,
you guys. I'm trying to have to do a show and tell as to,
like,
you
Sandra,
know,
what's, like, the latest, like, what's the last, like,
what's the latest
you know,
one?
sneaker that you bought? Because she dances, so so she
Oh.
has to have she looks for certain kinds of specific shoes,
All right, you're gonna
and
make me do a show and tell here on the Jumbotron of an Amazon. This is what it looks like if you're an Amazon product. I can remove this at any time. I don't I'm embarrassing
true.
myself.
You
Help
could
me out,
trim it,
everybody, with an
you know?
Amazon best product
I mean, like
right here.
yesterday, like, Bad Bunny performs and she like got up and danced to it. And I'm just like, how do you know these
Nice.
songs? Aren't you supposed to be working?
I'm working on the clipper and
She's
dancing
like,
to Bad Bunny.
oh, they play all these songs in my dance class,
Mhm.
Nice.
I mean, like all her classmates, like what they always want to buy her shoes, whatever shoes she's wearing. I'm just like,
Yes, I'm a shoe icon in dance
Ooh.
class.
Oh,
But
wow.
Nikes, my brand of choice is Nike's retro running shoes make the best dance shoes, which is a
Auntie,
little unknown factoid.
what's the news on Nike today?
Oh, it wasn't good. We
Uh,
learned that there was a sizable contribution made to a certain administration. So,
there you
yeah.
go.
No, don't tell me that.
No, don't say that.
That's okay. I think maybe my shoe preference too is, you know.
And
But
that would be
anyway, I
great.
mean,
Go ahead.
we could go through. You know what? Well, I could probably go to her closet and go through like, shoe by shoe where it's bought, and then share the link on, the jumbotron.
There you go. Pop culture is hot for the Chatmos and the Jumbotron, isn't it?
Yeah,
Just ask Auntie about that.
but I don't want to
All
call you
right.
out. Sandra actually, for the record, she actually uses them, and like until they're, you know, it's just a lot, too much, so much.
Okay, we're not gonna be judgy or preachy, okay?
Yeah, let's talk about food. I could talk about food. Just kidding. I could
Yeah,
do like,
last time we talked about food, right? Auntie, what'd you eat for dinner here?
Now, I
Carolina and
actually haven't
UI.
had dinner yet.
oh
I'm still
no,
working off a late, only because I haven't decided on what I wanted, but I'm gonna have a late dinner. I'm thinking maybe like, I don't know, a chicken Caesar wrap or something
Mm.
light.
there you go. Like, we should probably, podcast like going through a Grubhub or a DoorDash, shopping for dinner.
Hmm.
Oh, wow, that would be a
That's
good one.
interesting, right?
Yeah, that would be really good. In an Uber, right? Live streaming would be cool.
Yeah, you could also do live streaming. Auntie is going on location and, kind of putting together kind of his setup. But
Mhm.
last week, I was in the vehicle and, was on here with David and Sandra. I was like, hey, we could just hit record. This would make an interesting podcast, driving around Los Angeles.
I
In a
thought it would be
Waymo, in a
in a
Waymo.
yeah, the key thing here was the Waymo, where we were just having a conversation in the Waymo. I said, I could do this forever, right? Where Camille just drives around like Cash Cab. It's an old school TV show, but drive around and show us things. That's awesome.
Yeah, I think, I mean, the Waymo as a single person, you could move around and do a podcast with that because someone else is driving, you know.
Mhm.
But it's just Waymo is just more expensive.
Seriously?
I find it more expensive than Lyft and Uber, but
Oh, wow.
and then they don't pick you up exactly where you want to be picked up, and they don't drop you off where you want to be dropped off.
Oh, man.
But it's
Well, there's definitely a show there somewhere, a podcast where maybe you get in with one of your guests and you interview them in the Waymo and drive around and have an interview inside the Waymo. That's a
yeah,
cool concept.
yeah,
Speaking of content.
and I think for Chatmosa, we don't want to pressure you to have to be on camera to do a video podcast.
Yeah.
Um, you know, as I love Auntie show. I mean, for sure. I'm there. I'm working and I'm listening to Auntie show because it's audio. There's another show that I've brought up in the past, the B-ball show. It's all audio, and really the power of audio is pretty good, and that's why when we did our clippers, it allows you to produce a video clip out of your audio podcast. But using the jumbotron is a kind of a neat way to produce video podcasts without having your face on camera. No pressure for makeup and background. Although I know, things that we'll have in the pipeline is we'll fix the background. We'll give you, what you're used to, have, fun backgrounds. So, write to us. Go to our contact us. Let us know what you like, what you don't like. But really it's, get on Chatmosa, be a podcaster, start recording. It's as easy as that. And then we have so many, we have all these tools for it. You don't have to use them, but you will end up using them because you will find that your journey as a podcaster, you will need those tools,
Very true. I'm living
Yeah.
proof.
right? And I think
So true.
on our homepage, we kind of brought it up, our FAQ, our frequently asked questions. What is Chatmos? And I think David, Auntie, we kind of hear people say, "Oh yeah, but I use Zoom for recording and Riverside, Buzzsprout, all these like products, which are great products." But you will find yourself, you're kind of like everywhere. And as an audience, for me, really one of the inspiration for Chatmosa is when I'm invited to an event, it's like, oh yeah, sign up on this site, and then we'll go on this other product. We'll meet each other in this product, and then they're gonna go to another like product to email me, and then it's like all these like you're sending me everywhere, and I'm having to create accounts on all those sites.
Yeah.
You know, someone that we spoke to last week kind of like was a little bit shocked by our sign in that we don't allow anonymous users, to sign in, and I just want to um, kind of bring that up because for you could do that. You could be an anonymous troll on other platforms, but hopefully not in Chatmosa. And we want our hosts and our co-hosts to know who they're have an idea of who they're talking to, or who they're giving the mic to speak on their podcast or their live sessions. And we wanted a way where people from all platforms can connect together. We're not here to pull you out of TikTok or pull you out of Facebook or X. We're actually here to support you on whatever social media platform you like. But we also know that your community will not always be there on that platform that you like. So hopefully you could do it here in chat. Mostly when you could do a podcast, we have podcasters. They don't even they keep their sessions private. They do their recording and then they publish and publicize it afterwards. So it's to each
Yeah.
their own.
It's all here. I think in the on the summary page here for this episode of Chatmosa Growth, there's a link to our facts. So you just go to the homepage at the very bottom. There's the list of the facts, and so if you want to kind of look through that, you can see kind of the differentiators for us. So yeah, any other topics you guys want to bring up? And talk about anything's coming up. I just summarized that we do have, I think we did last week, but we do have the Blue Sky sign in here,
Oh, I
right?
love
As
the
an
Blue
option.
Sky sign in.
Isn't that great?
Yeah. At first, I wasn't sure how it's done. Like the second time you come back, but all you do
Yeah.
is actually click on your name, and it just signs you in, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, it's super fast, right? That's the great thing about it. TikTok kind of makes you go through a little captcha kind of a thing, but Blue Sky's right real quick.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
kudos to Sandra for enabling that. And that's going to enable us a lot of kind of future Blue Sky functionality, especially with their open kind of protocol that they're using.
Yeah, and I think we have, a question, like Auntie, like if you wanted to move all your content from your X profile on Chatmosa to your Blue Sky profile on Chatmosa, that's actually doable. You just contact us for now, and the future will kind of make that like a button. Did you hear that, Sandra?
No. I counted up to 5 on that one. Camille, I'm on the Chatmosa Blue Sky page, and it's if folks go there and to our other social media pages, we do these really great little snippets of promos, right, of what makes Chatmosa great. So you'll see the videos here on our social media pages, which is awesome.
Yep.
It really works out well. It's really
Yeah.
fun.
So I think we're gonna need some music for our show, David. Our closing music.
Yeah, we're gonna need like an intro music, maybe a video that I'll use the media editor to, and an outro, right?
Yeah.
But in the meantime, does anybody have any music or sound or a clap would be good? Hint, hint to close us out.
Sorry, I'm using a different mic. I don't have my sound card.
Dun, dun.
Whoa, we were so close. Every time you clap us out there, Auntie, with the claps. So okay. We will so yeah, that's going to be on me to add extra intro music and outro music, right, Camille?
Yeah, you know what? I cheat. I will play it during the recording, and
Okay.
then I will just go to the media editor on Chatmosa, and I'll just
Okay.
trim kind of
Ah.
before and after, and then boom, you've got it.
Wow, I didn't even think of that. That's a really good idea.
Yeah.
All right, everybody, thanks for a great week, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye, everybody. Take care. Bye.
Bye.